Our topic for today is which short stories will leave you breathless? This is a super popular answer that someone posted without revealing their identity. In no particular order. 1. The Paperhanger by William Gay. If you want to know what contemporary literary horror looks like, this is the place to go. For me, the power of this story lies in the familiar, the trust of one person believing in another, specifically the people you let into your home, electricians, painters, and plumbers. When you look down on somebody, there is always the risk that you will insult them and set them off. And in this story, we see the worst possible fear of a mother come home to roost, with an ending that is absolutely devastating. Bye. I hate to see that evening sun go down. Collected stories. From Amazon.com. 2. Lawns by Mona Simpson. For many people, this may be the only bit of her writing that they've ever read. And it's worth hunting down. When somebody is damaged and lost in the world, we always wonder how that came to be. Was there something in their past that made them steal, made them vulnerable? Was there an incident, some family member, an ongoing abuse? In this case, yes, there was. A college-aged girl tells of her problems, these issues she has, but we have no idea how deep it goes, how messed up she really is. But what keeps this story from being merely a dark tale of power gone awry is the way the protagonist handles her future, the way she forgives and moves on. She is unique, and yet, she is all of us. 3. Where Are You Going, Where Have You Been, by Joyce Carol Oates. I've always been a fan of JCO, and her writing is literary fiction that isn't afraid to take you over the cliff, never to return. This is probably her most famous story, and an extremely popular and well-known one, in general. When a teenage girl stays home, trying to exude angst and resentment, something she has set in motion leads her to a horrifying moment. It is one of the creepiest and most unsettling stories I've ever read. And nobody gets killed. The violence and tension are all up front, all in your head, right there beyond the screen door, asked for and granted. If you want to figure out how to write tension, this is a great example. 4. Emergency, by Dennis Johnson. If you haven't read his collection Jesus' Son, by all means pick it up now. It is essential reading. If you own 10 books, it's one of them. It's just that good. This story is very dark, and yet funny, and then ultimately, heartbreaking. The violence of the hospital, the fate of the 2 goofballs that are driving around in the truck, the bunnies, what can I say about the bunnies? Makes me sad, crushes me, whenever I think about it. He is a powerful voice, one that you need to know. 5. Harvey's Dream, by Stephen King. You knew I'd have at least one of King's stories on this list. I could have picked 10, and maybe that will be a list I do some other day, but this story, which originally ran in the New Yorker, has always stayed with me. The way he sets it up, with the clues right out in front, sitting right there for you to stare at for page after page, it's an escalation, a slowly dawning realization, and when the knowledge sinks in, it is your undoing. I love his voice, and think that this is a story that flows along nicely, for the most part a happy story, until it turns the corner. Sometimes dreams come true, and sometimes those dreams are nightmares. 6. Puppy, by George Saunders. If you aren't familiar with George Saunders, you should really pick up some of his work. He's a funny guy, but also surreal, and his tales always pack an emotional punch. I ran across this story in a Best American Short Stories anthology and have been a fan ever since. It's all about perspective, poor versus rich, and how you can look at the same situation from 2 sides and have one person see something as abuse, and another see the same actions as unending love. Such a bittersweet story, this one, as many of the best ones are. 7. Harrison Bergeron, by Kurt Vonnegut. This one you may have read in high school or college, and that's okay. Really. It has stayed with me for 30 years. What I love about this story is that it totally catches you off guard. It lures you into the strange world where everyone is handicapped, the beautiful wear masks, the strong wear heavy weights, the smart wear headphones that pipe in excruciatingly loud noises to disrupt their thoughts. This might be one of the few stories that actually made me cry. It's that powerful. 8. The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien. I don't think you can have a list without this one on it. It's a list story, sure, and it's surreal at times, a tragedy, most definitely, but overall it's just a powerful love story, one that leaves you in the trenches with the soldiers, a victim of war, of fate, of everything that makes us human. I see this collection at a lot of garage sales and used bookstores, so pick it up if you run across it. Bye. The Things They Carried. From Amazon. Com. 9. The Veldt by Ray Bradbury. I grew up reading Bradbury and Heinlein but didn't read this story until a few years ago. Many in the literary community consider it a story that transcends genre, and it's in the Norton Anthology of Short Fiction, the academic Bible of contemporary and classic stories. It's a story of power, of parents versus children, and it's a magical tale, one that asks you take a leap of faith, to suspend any doubts you may have, as certainly the parents do, by the end of the story. It's a social commentary of course, as much of Bradbury's work was, but it's also a fascinating tale. 10. Father, Son, Holy Rabbit by Stephen Graham Jones. I know that Stephen isn't a big name, and to put him on a list like this is probably a bit premature, but damn it if this story, and he's written so many fantastic stories over the years, doesn't stick with me. The power of a father's love for his son, the lengths he will go to in order to save the boy's life when they are lost in the forest, covered in snow, well, it's shocking, and so moving, that it stays with me, and haunts my waking life. This collection, The Ones That Got Away, is a mandatory purchase, so just go pick it up. 790.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe.